4:30 Monday morning. It is said that people quit just on the edge of the massive breakthrough. Things get difficult and they have so much doubt and they don't have anybody to cheerlead them through, really, is what it really comes down to. That's the most of it. The biggest part is just not quitting. Like, no matter how insurmountable the problems become, no matter how big it becomes, they seem big to you because you've not overcome any hurdles. And I'm talking about business, I'm not talking about like being massively sick or anything, but those stories are there too. People who are massively sick and they, mainstream media tells them, oh, we got to put you on these protocols, and all of a sudden they're just like really sick and they have years and years of recovery. And then you hear other people that are like, I'm not doing any of that. And they start using offline protocols, right? Not mainstream medical type stuff. And they're like, yeah, here I am, 12 years later, no cutting, no radiation, no whatever. And I'm not telling you to do that. I don't know, really. It's easy to say what I do having not been through it, but those stories are there too. But the more you overcome things and the more you do difficult things, those things you thought were impossible, all of a sudden you did it. Now it's possible. And you keep doing it and doing it. And you keep pushing that barrier, that line of impossibility. It just becomes, you just realize you can do it. You just have to figure out how to do it, or just never quit until it's done. You just keep chipping away. And I think that when you do difficult things, they become easier. And I also think that the opposite is true, that if you just quit, quitting becomes easier and everything you do becomes difficult because you just never broke that threshold. If you went to the gym the first time you're in there and you go to pick up let's just say 135 on the bench press, right? 135. I remember trying to bench 135 in high school until I did it. And then it was 185 and then 285 and then up in the 300s, right? 315, I think that's what the next one was, the next big goal at 16 years of age, 17 years of age, 18. But you just kept doing that, right? The first time you walked in a gym, you had no idea what you were doing. Even having had a weight set, and my mom's friend, who did some bodybuilding coaching and stuff, and, brought Family Fitness Center to the United States from Canada. Having been around those people, guys that had trained with like Frank Zane and shit, I had an old rickety concrete weight set in the garage that he had given me, and some metal plates and stuff. And even doing a program he had written me over and over and over for years, the first time I went in a gym with that equipment, you have no idea what you're doing. Even being there with a friend who had gone to the gym, you still had no idea, and it was uncomfortable, and you felt like everybody was looking at you, and you were not, a big dude in there. And guys were just, that's just how that is. That's how your entire life is. If you don't keep showing up and showing up and showing up until you're not the new guy, and showing up until you actually know some shit, and showing up to where you can help one of those kids when they come in uncomfortable, or you see them doing something dangerous, and you can be like, hey man, check this out. Watch me do this. You can do it however you want, but this is how I do it. And we've been here for a very long time. You can mentor other people, but at the same time, when you're trying to get your shit together, you don't need to worry about mentoring other people. You can cheerlead them. On the other hand of that, the other hand of that is, maybe you do need a group of guys that are figuring things out, or girls, and you can help each other in business. A lot of people, when they're starting out business, they don't want to talk to people trying to do the same business as them because they see them as competition, and for years and years. Whereas if you pooled your knowledge, you might know where some piece of Velcro comes from and cut the price, per carton or per pallet, or I might know where some type of webbing or buckle comes from. I've reached out to companies and been like, hey man, will you tell me where this comes from? And if you do this for me, I will owe you a favor and you can in turn ask me something. They almost always do it. Almost always they will tell you, even bigger companies, and a lot of times they don't even ask for anything back, but you can ask that. And that's how life is. When you ask, all they can say is no. And then you can remember that. You can make them pay the price for that. If they didn't give you the time of day or whatever, the message shows red and nobody replied to you when they ask you, you can send them a screenshot of that and be like, hey, remember when I really needed this and you didn't help me? But that's not what this is about. This is just about show up, put in the work, push a little bit further than you did yesterday, and keep fucking doing that. If you say you want to do things, there's so many people out there, they're like, I want to do this thing. Well, then why aren't you doing it? Why did you not? Man, I wish I looked better. I wish I looked like you look. Then why don't you do what I do and get up early and go to the gym? Well, I don't have time. Well, then get up early, do some functional fitness, pick up a wheelbarrow, pick up something heavy, walk around. Even better, pick up something heavy and walk around with it in one hand for a quarter mile, and then the other hand for a quarter mile. Do some push-ups, dig some holes, move some sandbags, fill some sandbags, whatever it is. Everybody always has an excuse. You notice nowadays people don't say, I'm going to do this thing. They say, I want to do this thing. When I say I want to do something, that's not the same as I am going to. When you state it, you make it a statement, I am going to do this thing, and you put it out into the world, it is now in motion. So now you have to do this thing because you said you were going to, or you're going to be a fucking liar. And most people, they take the easy route. They don't want to be called on, hey, how'd that thing go? There's also many times when I've said, hey, we're going to do this thing. And then people are like, hey, did you do that? No, I got busy doing other shit. I realized that it was not profitable to do this, and it was taking time away from other stuff. So I reverted back into doing the things that I knew made the money. That's okay. But say things with certainty. Speak them into existence. Because a lot of times it does put shit in motion, and the guy that can help you do it, or the people that can help you do it, they're there. They just needed to know you wanted to do it. They've got the answers. Look at this herd of kittens following me around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 5 black cats are right there. Black cats. Mist moving in the casting spells, I tell you. All right, I'm going to go in here and work out. Got a ton of mess. We got that laser system in here, and I moved a bunch of stuff that I was going to compress and put away over the weekend. I've got $100,000 worth of just cut product that was double cut or miscut or something, right? So a lot of times when we're at full speed, it's faster to just put that stuff aside and cut fresh stuff, which is crazy, especially to a dude starting out that is like, but a roll of material is like, $1,600. I know, but time is the bigger thing. So we save all that shit, and usually it just takes putting eyes on it, and we're like, oh, there's 24 aprons here that are missing Velcro and webbing, but we don't need 24 aprons right now, so they sit on the shelf till we need them, stuff like that. I just got to set up some wire racking, but first, because I can definitely go in here and just get straight to work. Nobody gets here till 7:30, but I need to work out, and that's what I do. I get up in the morning. I definitely did not want to get up this morning. I looked at the clock, it was 3:30. I looked at the clock, it was like 3:45. Looked at the clock, it was 4:05. And then I got up at 4:10. So you just got to do shit that's difficult. Once you've done it hundreds of times, even when you don't want to do it, it's doable, and you just continue to do it. It's the accumulation. That's all it is. If you'd have bought $5 of Bitcoin for the last 5 years, you'd have millions of dollars right now. See you guys later.